Hello, everybody, and welcome to the eighth episode of Senioritis. I'm your host, Aaron, along with my co-hosts, Derek Tirrell, Joe Beaver, and Matthew Lyons. What are we here to talk about today, boys? What's going on? I feel like we need no further introduction. So,
What's new with you guys? Nothing huge has gone on in the past week, really, since
uh,
we last talked.
New
I mean,
semester,
yeah,
new
Yeah,
classes. Aaron and
yeah.
I, we have some cool new lunch seats, which are pretty cool. We actually sit
What?
like outside, outside of the athletic office, right on that bench, so we can like actually like recline and put our feet up during lunch.
Oh, so you guys are near each other?
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
We're not banished to the back of the
No,
gymnasium.
I'm not there anymore. I'm
Oh,
so
big
Matt.
day.
So where you guys are, I'm all the way down that hallway.
Hmm.
Or I was, not anymore. Now at least on Tuesdays, I am just in the back of the high school cafeteria, and I have a outlet near my lunch seat, so
Nice,
that's pretty cool.
big time.
Joe, where are you at these days at lunch?
I don't know yet. Actually, I wasn't
Oh,
there
right.
Oh,
Tuesday,
that's
Yeah,
right.
you were
so
remote.
it's
Yeah,
gonna be a
yeah,
surprise.
yeah.
But as far as new semester, I got leadership seminar, something which is new to the school. I think Aaron has it too.
Yeah,
And
I
Matt.
I do as well.
Yep. And then I got entrepreneurial, so I'm excited for it.
So you're
I took
just
that freshman year.
training to be a leader all around,
Yeah, I
a
guess so.
business leader, personal leader.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see what's happening in the future of Joe Beaver.
yeah.
Yeah. Um, as for new classes, I am taking my first like computer science. I'm taking web development. Matt's in that class as well. Should be all right. What do you think, Matt?
Yeah, I'm excited for it. It wasn't a class that I chose, I don't think, last
Same.
year. But after that introduction, I'm very glad that I'll have the opportunity to learn those skills.
Yeah.
HTML, CSS, and JavaScript.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
the
All
big
of it.
three.
That's the canvas picture actually. I don't know if you noticed, Matt. It's those three. But Matt and I also have a period one study that we still have to log in for and momentarily turn our cameras on for.
Yeah, it's like I'm
Which
spying on you guys. I have classes like oh, I have this class which Matt is also in. It's like
oh
a
yeah.
binocular.
Yeah.
Um
All
the
right.
camera on thing did not get me out of bed though, that's for sure.
I don't mean to trash the administration, but I'm going to trash the administration because the
Trash
fact
him.
that we do not have snow days anymore is bogus, absolutely bogus. I mean, we had two prime days, two back to back. That would have been an extended weekend. Boom, amazing. But no, we had to
All
go to
right.
school remotely.
I wasn't going to talk about this because I know I was watching some of our old episodes and I feel like I was a little too harsh. And now that you bring this up, I'm going to be harsh again because this is not fair. It's not fun. It's not cool. It's just doesn't make sense. Remember when we were in middle school and they would call us snow day and we would all go to your house, Aaron, and have snowball fights and stuff?
Yeah, no more
That was
snowball,
like
just pain and
that.
misery.
Yeah, like brutal, like painful, like cold snowball fights. And it was such a good time. We would go sledding, we would do all this different stuff on snow days. And yeah, it's awful for us because we're seniors and we wouldn't have to make it up. But I think of like these kids at work that I see at work, these like younger kids who have to sit at home and do remote school while they see the snow coming down outside. Like when you were younger, snow days were the best. Like you wanted to play in the snow, you know? That was like when the snow came down, you wanted to go play in
Yeah,
it.
you want to go outside. You want to
Yeah, and meanwhile they're sitting here in remote classes. And I've saw it on Life in Abington and stuff. Like a lot of people just say, "No kids, like you don't have to go to school, go play." I was almost there. I was almost gonna say I'm taking a snow day, but makeup work is more of a pain than just going to school, especially this year. So that's the hard part. It's worse to make up work than it is to just go. So whatever, man. I
Yeah.
was really hoping we could have snow days.
And like obviously, like yeah, they've never dealt with this type of thing before. I mean, we're about a year into it, but at the same time, like if you keep on taking away all the things that we look forward to,
Yeah.
you're going to put zero effort into school. Like you can't just take away the good and expect us to do well. At least
Yeah.
like that's the vibe I'm getting.
Silly. It's so ridiculous. They take and take and take and expect us to give the same amount of effort and like the same dedication and like care just as much. Like, luckily the four of us are like motivated, good students, but everyone, like not everyone else, that's awful, but like some other people are not going to feel as incentivized without a push or without nice things, especially when they just deliberately take things just to take them. Like, why make that change? You know, like why change something just like, I don't get it. I don't get it.
Especially since there were power outages as well. Matt can attest to this. I think someone's vacuuming, so he's not going to speak right now. But there are people without power. So like
Yeah.
the remote side, they could
Too
go
bad. You're out of power. Make up that test that you missed. Make up that work. It's ridiculous, dude. Not to mention, like, I got to go out and shovel. I mean, luckily the snow wasn't like that bad. But you know what? Sorry, I got to leave class. Got to go help my like parents that are over 50 at this point. I got to go help them shovel. Like, I'm not going to leave my parents out there to shovel alone. Like, bye. Leaving class to go shovel.
Yeah, I remember when I think it was in December, they talked about it at the school committee meeting. I don't remember what their final decision was, but Matt was there, I remember. And they talked about, should we have online snow days? And I can't remember what they finally said about it, but I thought they were going to go against having online snow days. That's what it sounded like on the board.
Yeah.
It sounded like they were against having the online days. So I don't know what happened with that decision.
Okay, the vacuuming has stopped. I have returned. Yeah, I woke up with no power on Tuesday, and of the 2 days I actually have to go to school, I couldn't use the excuse like, "Oh, my power's out, sorry, I can't do school." And having to get ready in the dark with a flashlight and candles, like I'm Ebenezer Scrooge, is ridiculous. It's I mean, I'm glad because we did, get the opportunity to record 3 of our shows on Tuesday.
Yeah.
But I mean, we saw in the parking lot, it was like
it
was
just
Armageddon.
boils my blood. So they don't call it snow day, and then when we go there, we all almost ate it in the parking lot because
And the
because they
teachers, too.
didn't put rock salt. And then I'm sitting in period 5, which is our first class of the day, and I see them putting the rock salt out after we all walked through the driveway. I see they're sprinkling it all over the sidewalk after we all almost slipped and fell. And I'm not going to say who it is because that would be awful, but I heard that a teacher from the middle school like slipped and got hurt like pretty bad.
Yeah.
Like, and then they had to go home. Like, it's just, you cannot make this up. Like, and the worst part is, like, thank goodness, luckily there's a group of parents out there that are doing nice things for us. I forgot to thank them last episode, but I want to formally thank the parents that got us the candy bags. Just to know that someone was thinking about us was so nice. And I've heard that they have more planned, and I'm so thankful for that. But it shouldn't be the parents' responsibility to step up to do nice things for us because the school isn't. Like, come on, give us some snow days, please.
It's not much to ask for, man.
It's really not. Like,
especially the teachers. The teachers are like, we want snow days too.
yeah.
Like on Tuesday, I was holding on to my car because I didn't wear boots. I was an idiot. I didn't wear boots.
Everyone
it
else
was your
had boots, but you didn't have boots.
Yeah.
I know, I'm dumb. Okay, I get it. But anyway, I was holding on to my car because I couldn't get my footing. I'd either, like an old person, I had to walk like holding on to my car all the way around and like ice skate to the door. Like, I get it. I get it. You have, like, we have Microsoft Teams, we have Zoom, we can do it, but that doesn't mean we have to do it.
Yeah. Just because we can doesn't mean we should take. Oh, it's just sad. I just wanted think about how awesome it would have been to even, to get that call Monday or Sunday night that we did. Remember how exciting that was?
Yeah.
Even last year in March when we got that 2 weeks off, I was pumped. I was like, oh, nice. We're out of school for 2 weeks. Little did I know it would last a lot longer. But I was pumped. We're out of school for 2 weeks, or we have a snow day. That call was always so exciting. Now every time, because that's the only time my house phone rings, is when the school calls.
Mhm.
So when I hear my house phone, I'm like, oh no, what have they got for us this time?
Yeah.
And then I'll hear my sister, no, and then everyone in my house. It's since my mom works in the schools, everyone in my house, every time that phone rings, since we just know it's the schools, we're all just oh, what do you got for us now?
But on the teacher's defense, and the administration's defense, if they were to cancel school and not do remote or anything, we would all be a day behind. Especially when we only have half of our classes on one day. If we miss that day, we're kind of screwed.
That's what we do on holidays. That's what we do.
Yeah, but I mean, they have the planning for that. They know okay, we're not gonna have school on this day. I mean, it would be a nightmare to have to catch up on when we only meet two days a week.
Yeah. We're fully synchronous though, right? I mean, we're off the same point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
it wouldn't, everyone would be set back that same one class. And honestly, the way it's been for me is I've been getting my they give us a lot of free time on that second class, so they could just not do not free time, but time to work on ongoing assignments during that other class. They could just not do that and then catch it up.
Yeah. But also, Matt, you got to think about it. So we meet twice a week, but we also meet for double the time, which is essentially 4 class periods. So we're only missing out on 1 class period a week because of the Wednesday.
Yeah, so I still feel like we get a little less done when there's 2 classes going on at once also though. But
I agree with Joe. I don't think that we have fully doubled in what we're learning. I think we just are doing the same amount, except we have to sit in the meeting on Thursday and Friday since the shift. So,
I would say we're moving slower than before, I think, with the online and
I would agree.
Personally, yeah.
Especially with I would say that this current hybrid model is definitely the worst thing that the worst model that they've done so far. And it's the model we're gonna have for the rest of the year, but it's definitely their worst one that they've come up with so far, because the amount of time it takes for the teacher to synchronize the at-home kids and make sure they're getting what they need and the in-class kids, it just doesn't work. It really doesn't. It definitely slows the pace of the class. And I think we made it a lot faster when we got our lesson at the beginning of the week, and then we did our remote work and did our ongoing assignments separately. Now with them trying to juggle that, it's just slowed the pace. I definitely agree with that, Joe.
And things like attendance, they have to do 2 attendances. That takes a lot of time.
And it takes forever because they have to do virtually present, virtually absent. They have to do all these different codes and stuff, and it takes a long time.
Also checking to make sure someone's there for attendance too. It takes time to say
the teachers have to call out each individual kid, and they
have to turn on their camera, their audio, and all that. So
I guess they're doing their best. But
we did a virtual discussion in English. Aaron and I were in the same class, and we had the virtual kids and then us in person. And whenever Miss Tomlin would ask a question about what did Hamlet mean when he said this, and someone at home would raise their hand, and she would put them on the speaker, and they would say their response, and then one of us would add in because it was a discussion. And so we would raise our hand. Miss Tomlin would call on us and say, wait 1 second. We would unmute our mics because we had our laptops open with the Teams program on. We would unmute that. But then because Miss Tomlin's audio was on, it created this super loud, supersonic sound that blew everyone's eardrums out. So she would have to say, okay, wait. She would mute her mic, turn off her speaker, and then we would talk. And once we were done, we would mute, and then it would go back to it was ridiculous.
And
I understand, but
it's a smart idea. I understand they have to or whatever because the state, whatever. I mean, I'm sure there's still different ways they could do it because I know other towns do. I know that Rockland, when you're remote, you just have shorter classes. it's only like 15, 25 to 30 minutes. I don't know if I don't take my word completely for that, but that's what I've gathered from what happens in Rockland. They don't have the full length classes when they're remote. It's more of like a check-in, like make sure you're in a good spot and then do your like remote work, and they still are able to meet the quota for the hours. So there are other options. So like to say that they like have to do it this way isn't really accurate. There's definitely other ways they could do it, but it just doesn't work well having teaching in class and at home at once. I don't think it's, I mean, like there hasn't been too many like big things that have been like, all right, this is awful. It's more of like we're just way less productive and it just doesn't work well, you know?
Their hands are tied though, man. I mean,
I
like the
know.
state mandated, I don't know if it was 4 or 5 days of live instruction. So we can't go back to that hybrid model. As awesome as it was for us, can't do it.
Right. I'm just saying that I'm sure there are other ways that aren't this.
But moving on from this, I want you guys' opinion on it because we are like younger. So Joe Biden, he wants to turn the federal minimum wage to $15. Do you think that's going to help the economy or do you think it's going to hurt it?
I think it depends because like if you're a bigger business, you might be able to afford it. If you're a smaller business, you might have to fire someone. So I don't know. I think it depends, I guess, who you are, I guess, in this, who you're paying to.
Yeah, definitely helps, or at least it helps if you're an employee of like a big business. But I mean, it would mean a raise for me, so I guess I'm in for it.
Same.
I think it'll be good for like the first few months, like, hey, we get like, more money, but then I feel like prices are gonna go up to like account for that.
Yeah.
And it's just gonna, yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't know if I'm stupid or not, but won't that just like, because these companies are not going to take a different profit margin. They're just going to keep their profit margin.
They're just going to
So-
make things more expensive.
Exactly. When minimum wage goes up, so will everything else. So I just don't understand the rationale behind it. I mean, if he's going to do something this drastic, I would rather him kind of experiment with like a state, like throw California in the fire or something. And see how that goes.
California's had enough with fire, okay? Why don't you leave them alone for a bit? Give them a break.
I mean, what's our minimum wage right now?
We're up to 13 something.
13.50.
13.50.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
I mean, maybe he just wants to level it out for like all the states.
I think the thing with ours, it's like over time. So like it's every year.
It's like a
75.
slight.
Would this one be
increase every
like?
year.
Would this be like just
It
all
would
of a
just be
sudden?
boom 15,
Okay,
right?
so, yeah, I think it is, but I'm not positive about that. But if it's like all of a sudden, that might be a little too much. Maybe if we did it like in increments, that might be better. But I don't know.
I mean, it would mean a raise at both my jobs, so I really can't really complain.
Yeah.
But
Wouldn't it just devalue the dollar though? Because then everything gets more expensive. The dollar is worth less.
I don't know. Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah. Well,
What do you guys think about like? Sorry, you go, Derek.
No, I was just saying. I guess in the end, it doesn't matter. It's either we keep making the same amount of money and things cost the same, or everything goes up by like an equivalent ratio. So I guess like do whatever you want, President Biden. Like, but it's I don't know how much that's going to change other than it looking nicer to make more money and looking worse to spend more. So.
We all work here, so how often do you guys have cash? Because I never have cash. Do you guys have cash, or is it all
Cash
on
is
like
king.
cards for you?
I love cash. I always make sure I'm carrying around like $20 ish.
I never carry cash. Everything's direct deposit, goes right into my bank account.
Yeah.
Like, oh, go on, Joe.
Oh, I was just agreeing with you. Same. I don't use any sort of cash. It's all credit and debit.
Yeah. Because
I
I
always
love
try to
when I
have
have cash. I love it. It's such a great feeling to like,
That's what I'm saying.
feel money, but it never happens. And when I do have cash, like, it's gone like that. And I just go back to looking at my digital numbers on my app.
I feel like that's dangerous though.
Yeah.
At least for me, because it doesn't feel like real money. Like, because like if I have like $100 bill in my hand, I'm going to be reluctant to spend that. But when I see like my checking account total, I'm like, oh, wow, I have like this much.
I have $1,000. Like that's a lot of money. Like it won't hurt too bad to take 50 off that. Or
Yeah.
spending $50 out of your hand is a lot. It feels a lot more like you're spending $50.
See, I've heard people like say that, and to a certain extent, I agree with that. But for me, when I look at those numbers, like that's like more like focused for me. Like I can't stand when my numbers are below like a certain amount. Like I love seeing those numbers, and I want those numbers to go higher and higher. It's like when you have cash, you have to like count it. But when you see those like those numbers, it's just different for me.
Yeah, I think maybe because it's like the total, like it's like everything. So when you have it like on through like the digital numbers, I think since it has it all totaled out for you, I think, yeah, I kind of see where you're coming from. It might be different versus when you have money. You may not realize how fast it goes if you're just doing like $5 here, $5 here.
I mean, I tend to take it from the same place. Like I'll just go to the bank and take like $60 out, and then I'll just like slowly spend that.
See, do you just have like a savings account though? Or, like one
No, I have two
single
accounts.
account? What?
I have two accounts. I have a checking account and then a savings account.
Oh yeah. And then so when you split your paycheck, do you do 50-50?
No, all my money goes into my savings, and then I put it into my checking as I need it. And
Okay.
usually when I take cash, I take it directly from my savings, and my checking is the money on my card.
Okay.
So I usually try and keep a X amount of balance on my card. All my money. So as long as I have around that number, I don't even know what it is. Let's say it's 200, 300 on that card. So I just make sure I never like get like below 150 and I never go above 500 or whatever. So I try and stay around that 300. I don't think that's what it is. But then from there, all my money from work goes directly into savings. And then I just take cash out of savings as I need it. But I don't do that often. I usually will go maybe like once, twice a month and just take like $50 out of in cash and then spend it throughout the month. Just, I don't know. I just prefer to have cash when I'm like buying takeout or getting gas and stuff like that.
So that's interesting to me. So you put 100% of your money into the big pool, and then you take out
as needed.
What does everybody else do? Because I want to know how you, if it's not too intrusive. I don't want to.
I have. Oh, my bad.
No, Joe, you go first.
Okay. I just have one checking. Like I don't even have a savings. Like, and then I just use debit all the time. Like,
yeah.
I usually do like when I first got my checking and savings account, I did like 70-30 because I don't really spend money, like because I don't have a car. I'm not spending on gas as much. I don't really go out to eat often. So that's usually what I do. But there are times when like if I make like a big purchase, kind of like Derek, I like to have like I don't go below like a certain number.
Yeah.
So if I like, I do surveys. So I like in my mind, I kind of like justify it like, okay, like, I made like this money from surveys. So it's okay if I take out like X amount from my savings and put it in my checking. That's kind of how I do it.
Yeah. So Derek, I would say Derek and Joe Joe, I think you just have one account.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I guess like a long time, I was at Abington Bank for a long time. Then I went to Bank of America, and I guess I just never really made like two. But I don't spend much money anyways, so it's like
yeah. Because when I spend money, the majority I would say of my like weekly, I guess I don't even know if it would be weekly. I don't even know if I have to get gas every week because I really don't travel far. I would say like my monthly spending is mostly gas. Like I don't buy a lot of things other than gas really. And when I do, it's on my checking. But like my normal like gas and food, I usually pay in like cash. If I'm buying like food or gas, I usually try and do cash. I can't always do it because sometimes I just don't have cash, but that cash comes from my savings. And then checking is all for like, oh, I want to buy this thing, or I want that thing, or I want to buy this video game, or I want to buy this shirt. That's all my checking. But like my normal like takeout food and gas expenses are from my savings account, just because that's like my regular thing. That way I'm not like taking out of my checking, and when I want to buy something, I have like nothing in it.
So I guess I'm the biggest spender here then, because I do 50-50. So 50% of my paycheck, savings, I never touch it. I don't touch my save, like I don't even go in there. And then I have my checking, which is half of my paycheck, and that's all my spending. That's all my big purchases I want to make. So like if I don't have enough money, so say like I don't know, say like I want like a TV or something. That's $300. I won't dip into the savings. Would you guys? Would all of you dip into the savings for like a big purchase then?
No, I would just use my checking and then I would refill it from my savings. I don't know. I guess I have two accounts, but I really don't need two accounts because I kind of just used them. One of them's linked to my card and the other one I used to take cash out. It really doesn't matter. The thing is, if I did what you did, Aaron, my accounts would look pretty much the same, minus like a little bit. Like it wouldn't be that much of it. I wouldn't be like, if I did 50-50, I don't think I'd be like waiting for payday to like refill it to buy something new. Like I would kind of just have it wouldn't make a difference for me, I don't think.
Because I'm interested in how people like our age spend our money, because I feel like we grew up with a lot of like financial literacy. Sorry, one second, I'm getting a call. I need to.
No worries. I feel like growing up, like my parents were good about it, where I was always like, okay, I got this money. My birthday's in June and Christmas is in December. Between that time, no money comes in. I have to use that Christmas money and that birthday money to buy anything I want to get between those 6 months. Obviously, I'm a kid. If I like ran out of that money and I wanted something, ooh, Lego set, they'd like buy me a Lego set. But they would at least make me go through like the thinking process of, okay, I'm going to buy a Lego set now, or I'm going to buy this Nerf gun here. And then I'll have, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Enough that will be what I want to buy before my birthday, you know?
Yeah.
So my parents kind of taught me to like save my money. And that's why I feel like I still like, if I see something I want, I'm still like, okay, I'm going to buy it. But I'm also pretty good about not doing that like too often.
Yeah,
I think a lot before I buy things. Like I'll have an idea of something I want to buy and I'll think about it for like weeks and I'll be like, yeah, today's the day I'm going to buy that. You know what I mean? I'll like look at it on Amazon and I'll be like, okay, this is how much it is. And then I'll kind of think about it a lot and I'll be like, you know, sure. Like this is like a worthwhile product. Very rarely do I like browse Amazon for something to buy and just say, yep, getting that.
See, I kind of do what you do. I'm like the biggest online window shopper ever. Like I always look and I like add things like save for later, but like I don't like buy things immediately. Like I always
Right.
wait like weeks and I do research on it, make sure it's like what
Or
I
even
want.
just
It's
like
not a waste of
thinking
money.
about it, you know?
Yeah.
Just like going through like the mental gymnastics. Like, is this something I want? Is this something I want to spend this on? How much am I going to use this thing? You know?
Yeah.
I'm so different. I'll see something on Amazon and I'll be like, all right, let's read the reviews, and like I'll be like, oh, like this was good. This is what's wrong with it. And I'll just weigh it. I'm like, all right, how much is it? How much is it gonna take in my checking? Do you want it? Yes, go for it. Like I will see things and I'll buy like the same day. What about you, Joe?
No, I barely buy anything. Like I normally just my money
It
just
feels
sits
so
there.
weird. It feels so
And,
weird.
yeah, the biggest thing I spend money on is just like gas and then like food. That's it.
Yeah.
And that's literally the end of the list.
Maybe I need to cut back on spending.
No, you don't. No, because I think
everyone's different.
When you work, especially where like some of us, like Aaron, we have like 2 jobs. Like, you know, I don't know. I feel like it's okay to spend your money in high school. You know,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm glad like I go out to eat. Well, back when I guess I still kind of when like there are safe ways to do so, go out to eat and stuff like that. And I'm glad like I do things like before when movie theaters are open. Like I'm glad I like went to the movies and got Five Guys and stuff like that. Like that's worth it to me. Or even like some of the things I've bought, like I bought a PlayStation, like that's worth it to me. I'm just, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I think it's okay to like spend your money in high school. I think it's money obviously doesn't like bring happiness, but it can bring things that make you happy. And I think that's like worth doing every once in a while. Obviously, you can do it to an unhealthy degree, but I feel like it's okay to spend your money. You know.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
I'll take that advice into mind next time I'm looking at a big purchase. I think I probably should start sleeping on things more.
Yeah, it does help. And honestly, 90% of the time I do end up getting it anyway, but it's good to go through those mental gymnastics. And it's like, yeah, there's definitely things that I have been like about to hit purchase on and then just kind of like, all right, let me think about it. And I'm like, all right, I don't really need this, or I don't really like it would, I don't know, not be the smartest thing to buy one of these. But overall, I think it's okay to spend your money.
Yeah. See, since we're on the topic of spending money, as you guys know, I'm big on doing surveys for cash. I do them constantly. I've made a boatload of money on it. And now I like to share my referral code in the chat at some point today. And now when you guys collect points, if you decide to do it, I'll actually get a percentage of it myself. So
A percentage of my money?
No. You get all your money, but I just get a bonus because I recruited you.
This sounds like a Ponzi scheme.
I know it's
yeah. I don't know how I feel about this.
No,
So
but you guys should do surveys. They're amazing. I do them like, whenever I want to do like a purchase, like I just, give my opinions on stuff. And Derek, don't look at me like that. Like it's not a scheme. I'm not getting gypped. Like I've gotten like tons of Amazon gift cards.
I know
and,
you're
like,
not getting gypped. I feel like I'm getting gypped.
Why?
So is it like, all right. So I use your referral.
Mhm.
Do you make a percentage of the money that I would be making, or
No.
is that an additional
You
money
get additional.
that gets
I get
added to the pot?
So if you were to use
guess
my
I can live with
referral
that.
code, I would get like, I don't know how much it is, like $1, maybe $5. I don't know. Like, congratulations, you've recruited people to this website. Like, here's a bonus.
So
And
how
I
much?
think
Why don't you just make a ton of extra accounts and use your referral code?
that's
But
lame.
then-
It's a lot of work.
But then also you'd have to fill out surveys, wouldn't he? Right? Like
Yeah.
So
But if you guys did like surveys, I think like either 1% or 10% of your earnings, I would get, not your earnings, but like say you made, I don't know, like 250 points. You would get all 250, but I would get 25. Like,
Okay.
hey, this person's giving their opinions.
I guess I can live with that.
Yeah.
How many surveys do you do a week, Matt?
You
On average.
profiting
I don't know.
off
It
my
depends. Like when I have
surveys.
nothing going on, I do like, I
Do you
don't
get-
like sit on my computer and do like 100. Like that would rot my brain. But like sometimes in class, if it's a downtime, I might do a survey.
Do you make how much? So we were talking about this earlier, Matt. You
Yeah.
said you made like $160. How long did it take you to make $160?
I don't know. It depends because some websites I've had for like years. I have multiple websites that I use. So one I have on my phone, and they rarely give out like survey opportunities, but when they do, like they're good. Like I did
Like
like
how
an 8-week study, and like 1 week it would say it was about COVID. So it'd say like, did you think about this? Like, did you go out with your friends? Did you wear a mask? Did you do this? And no, it was 16 weeks. It was bi-weekly survey. So every 2 weeks they would ask like, I don't know, 20 questions or something. And at the end of it, I got like $25. And then, yeah.
Only 25?
yeah.
It
See,
doesn't seem worth it.
That does not seem worth it at all.
It's not like it took me like an hour to do the survey. Like I do it during lunchtime. It took me like 10 minutes tops.
Okay, so 10 minutes. All right.
Times 16.
so it's 80 minutes
No,
of.
he said it was bi-weekly, right?
Okay, so 80 minutes, you got $25.
Yeah.
And you sounded like that.
That's not
You
bad.
sounded like that was one of your like.
Well, if you think about it, that's like almost $25 an hour, like plus 20 minutes. So
I guess.
Hold on, 30.
That's interesting, Matt. I don't know if that. I
I don't
mean,
know. about
They're not for
this.
everybody, but like if I have like subscriptions. I subscribe to Hulu, Disney Plus. So in my mind, like my survey money that pays for like my subscriptions in a way.
That's a
I
good
would just rather like get like a side job or something.
Well, I know, but
side
like if it is a side hustle in a way.
Yeah, I guess, but I feel like it's not consistent though, is it? Like you're not getting the same amount of money every week. Like it's not like dependable.
It depends on how many surveys you do. Like, so on one website, like they have surveys every day, but like some of them, like the ratio of time to like reward is not worth it at all. But others, sometimes it'll take you like 15 minutes and you get like 450 points, which is like $4.50.
Mm.
So I don't do them every day. I usually look at like the surveys every day and see like,
Just to
you
see
know,
if there's like a good one with like a
Yeah.
good payout.
and if there's a real good one, I'll snatch that real quick and bang that
So
out.
is it like a pool? Like, can anyone take it and only like one person gets it, or how does that work?
No, I think they have like a required, not required, but like a estimated like percentage of people that they would like to take it, and then, but they have like certain demographics. So like because I'm younger, like I usually get accepted into surveys about like media and things like that. But like, if you're like 70 years old, they're probably not going to value your opinion as much.
Hmm.
So that's a survey game.
Yeah, I don't think I'll get into the survey game. It just seems,
It's not for everybody.
yeah.
But
To
like,
me,
if you're
I would
watching
rather,
TV
like,
on like a Sunday morning and you don't have anything to do that day, and you just, want to, I don't know, do something. If you're bored, just do a survey.
I don't think I'd ever get that bored to the point where I'd like just sit there and do surveys.
Well, okay, let me put it in this perspective. You guys play video games. I don't really play video games.
Yeah.
So not that I, do surveys for the same amount of time you guys play video games, but like, I don't know. And I certainly don't enjoy doing surveys as much as you guys do playing video games. I don't like, have a blast.
I don't
doing
think I'd be
surveys.
able to sit there and consciously fill out surveys with my PlayStation sitting right in front of me. Like, I don't think I could do that.
It depends. I mean, like I said, like sometimes you get like early screenings on like trailers and they ask you your opinion, like what'd you think of this? How was the music? How was this? How was that? And that stuff is interesting. But like other times it's like, I don't know, what do you shop for when you go to the supermarket?
I just do like I just work a lot throughout the week, and I like my like downtime to be like enjoyable time.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'd necessarily sacrifice my downtime to do surveys, but I mean to each their own. I mean, congratulations for doing like a side hustle and making money from it.
Yeah.
I feel like that's
And it is
something
nice
a
to
lot of people won't do.
pay off those subscriptions.
Yeah. I mean, like last year when I worked 2 jobs, I still did surveys, but I didn't do them as much as I did this year for sure.
Yeah.
So
All right. Well,
moving on.
yeah, let's get off the survey topic.
Yeah.
I feel like people are snoozing right now, whoever's watching. All right, anyone got anything to add? Because I'm dry right now on topics.
Still a little fired up from our first topic. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I mean, overall, things have been fairly quiet since last week. Have you guys heard any developments on the Reddit versus Wall Street?
I think it's dying down.
I think it's dying down too.
Yeah, they filed some class action lawsuits against the firms. So it's really a waiting game because like right now it's a standstill between those two. It's whoever's going to fold first, because as long as the people from Wall Street bets hold, it goes out, and this dilemma is going to go out for an amount of time until either these Wall Street billionaires sell their shares or the Wall Street bets people sell their shares. So it's a standoff right now, and we'll see more development. You know, there's a movie actually being made about it.
I heard about that.
Yeah, I think MGM is producing it. If I remember that correctly.
Not sure, but
I feel like
hear something about that.
like last week or whenever this like story kind of like developed, like everyone was interested in it, and like now that the week's gone, I feel like less people are like,
No one really cares.
no one really cares anymore.
Yeah.
That's
I
kinda how I
honestly
feel
wouldn't be
about it.
surprised if we never hear about it again. To be honest with you, like
I feel like as time goes on, people are starting to care about things like less and less. It's quick fire, boom, in the spotlight.
yeah,
Because when you talk about, I mean, if you ever talk to like your parents or your grandparents, they talk about those big events or like those people let's say like actors like Sean Connery or like or even like singers like Sinatra, all that. They have like such a big fondness around them, but I feel like our generation, it's like we don't care about much.
Right. Well, think about any trend that has happened in the past like 3 to 5 years, and think about any trend that happened when we were in like middle school. You know what I mean? Like trends back then, like silly bands, that crap lasted like a year, dog. But like nowadays, like let me think of something popular. Like Among Us lasted like 2 months.
Among Us lasted a while. It lasted
Yeah, but like a few months compared to like years, or like Fall Guys, or like any like mod. I feel like modern trends are a lot quicker.
yeah.
Well, because there's so much stuff, and like like there's like a million times more things going on
Yeah,
in the public eye than back
right. So it's like
50
not
years ago.
like some things just aren't like that special anymore. Unless you really catch that lightning in a bottle. There's 10 other things like it out there.
I forget who said this, but it's a quote. It was like, "Who knew all of human knowledge would just make people dumber?" And I feel like that's what's happening. I feel like we're all like, everything's becoming quicker. We care less about subject. It's gonna get to that point where like we're just cycling stuff through our mind. We're not even like digesting it. It's kind of scary to think about.
Yeah.
But yeah, should we wrap it up?
Yeah, I think this was a good
so.
episode.
All right. Well, I guess thank you everybody for watching. Tune in next week for another episode of Senioritis. Catch you later.